The year was 1960. Dwight Eisenhower was president, and construction of his interstate highway system was underway, a system that would fuel the growth of the car industry and the growth of the car theft industry. The average price of a new car was $2,600, and thieves drove away with 328,000 vehicles across the country that year. But with the explosion in population and the growth of multiple car families over the next 30 years, the number of vehicle thefts grew dramatically, peaking in 1991 when nearly 1.7 million cars and trucks were stolen. The theft problem grabbed the attention of law enforcement and the automakers. Increased arrests and stiff jail terms made an impact in the 90s, but the introduction of anti-theft technology tied to the ignition systems in the late 90s was the major factor in stemming the tide of vehicle thefts. Even though vehicle registrations increased from 1991 until 2008, the theft rates plummeted from 863 per 100,000 registered vehicles to 374. Registrations have leveled off in the past decade, but the theft rate has continued to fall to about 280 thefts for every 100,000 registered vehicles last year. Today, law enforcement is depending on technology to target theft rings.
Bait cars, when they first came out, were very, very successful. And still currently we have about 81 bait vehicles that are deployed statewide. Over time, though, because of the popularity of television shows and that the secret getting out, they're not as effective as they once were. However, they are still a very effective tool in our undercover operations, which subsequently end up in a bait car operation. As the bait cars have kind of waned a bit, the success of the LPR technology has really bloomed. And in fact, LPR technology is used by us. We're in the process of outfitting about 215 cars statewide. And it's also used by all law enforcement agencies across the state.
The price of a new car today would buy a dozen cars back in 1960, but the odds of having it stolen are continuing to skew in your favor, not the car thieves. Late model cars are very difficult to steal unless you leave them unlocked with the keys in the car. Thieves will continue to try to beat the technology, but so far, the technology is proving to be a formidable opponent. For the National Insurance Crime Bureau, I'm Roger Morris.